Saska. And I'm Sylvia Saska. And we're the Saska Sisters. And this is Indie Horror Junkies. Indie Horror Junkies.
Indie Horror Junkie.
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 We're a panic attack.
And this is Indie Horror Junkies.
Indie Horror Junkies.
Indie Horror Junkies. Indie Horror Junkies.
It's the Indie Horror Junkie Podcast, your source for anything and everything indie horror. Here's your host, Otis B. Dreads.
Well, hello there, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Indie Horror Junkie Podcast. And let's just jump right into it. We have a special guest backstage now. She's just chomping at the bit to get on this screen here. So let's get through this housekeeping real quick so we can bring up JoJo Payne and hear everything there is to know about what she's got going on. All right. Now, with the Indie Horror Junkie, we've got a lot of stuff going on, as you probably know. Every week I'm stressing all this different stuff. So let's get you caught up to speed on what's all happening here. First of all, here we go. Boom. There's a new issue that just came out on the 13th. It's got Stream on the cover. Inside, it's got a big article on that great film Stream from Michael Levy, one of the producers of the Terrifier series that I'm sure everybody's heard about. Got a couple other pieces in there, too, on a couple of the players that were in the film. We also have various other articles on some of the great indie horror movies that are coming out, like Behave, Love Dogs, Blue Murder, Killer Grannies, and the third chapter of Human Hibachi. Okay, it's a beautiful magazine, 40 pages, full color, all kinds of good stuff inside, including, as we do in every issue, we have our Indie Horror Hottie. And there she is for this issue, which is Marjorie Joseph. And the Indie Horror Hottie is not exactly as it seems. We want to show, basically, we're showcasing the female actors, actresses, somebody in the industry, but it's not, what we're trying to basically get across here is that we're trying to show you she's not just another pretty face. Because not only do we show you a beautiful picture of her like this, but then we have an in-depth article showing you all the things she does, whether the businesses she owns, the movies she's involved in, and if she's an entrepreneur, all kinds of stuff. We let you know that this person has got a lot of stuff going on, and we like to try and definitely promote women in horror and what they've got going on. Okay, outside of that, we also have, in case you were not aware, we've got our first Indie Horror Junkie supernatural thriller that is currently out and available for distribution through Bayview Entertainment. Currently, it is on Prime. It's also on Voodoo Fandango. It's coming to Chilling. It's also on FlixFling, and I was just told it should be going live any day now on Tubi. So if you get a chance, definitely check it out. We had a lot of fun making this movie. We think it's got some nice thrills and chills, and it came out really, really well. And it's also starring our own Asylum Amy. So definitely take a look if you get a chance. And if you do get a chance to watch it, make sure you head on over to the IMDb page and give us a big, beautiful review, because I'm sure you're going to love it. All right, so there's that. Then we are going to, let me get you this too. Our newest brick and mortar store that we are now available as of this issue. It's going to be available at Scarecrows. We already verified with them. They got their copies of the magazine just the other day. So it's going to be available there in Leviton, Pennsylvania. So definitely, if you're in that area, stop by. It's a great shop. They've got a lot of cool stuff up there. And you can now pick up your copies of Indie Horror Junkie, the printed versions. And they're available there. They're available in Viper Video in Tampa. They're available at Atomic Horror in Orlando. and they're also available at Nightmare Toys in Las Vegas. Those are our brick and mortar stores. And if you're not around any of them, you can always go to IndieHorrorJunkie.com. You can go to the magazine section. You can download a PDF version of the magazine, or if you want to get it in big, beautiful print, that's available as well for $15 a magazine, but that also includes free shipping anywhere in the continental United States. So we want to get them into your hands. Get a copy of the magazine. Also, if you do, make sure you take a picture of you, like a really cool place or something like that, not like a toilet or anything like that, but just a really cool place holding the magazine, and we'll get you on the website. We'll get you maybe here on the podcast, all kinds of good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'll get you caught up on some of the other things coming up later on, but I don't want to put JoJo to sleep back there backstage. Let's go ahead and bring her up. JoJo is an actress, a producer, but what we normally do is we show you a trailer for something that she was involved in, and then we bring her on. So here is a trailer that she gave me for a movie called A Hard Place. So enjoy the trailer, and when it's done, we'll have JoJo with you.
You said no one would get hurt.
We need to find somewhere to lay low. Somewhere off the grid. I know just the place.
What the hell?
Let's blow this pop stand.
Where are you gonna go? Where? I know you're scared.
You step outside that door, and you'll get tore apart.
We've been warring with these monsters for a long time.
We're caretakers.
They're coming for us.
Shrink this in. Because it's your home now.
The creatures that roam the night and the monsters that rule the day still out there looking for vengeance.
Some salad!
But they all die.
We're just trying to lend a helping hand.
Good luck.
Just get daddy!
That was intense.
All right. Hello, JoJo.
Hi.
All right. That looked pretty cool. Lots of monsters, lots of gunfighting, lots of blood.
Yes.
All the things that some, people growing up with indie horror enjoy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into it, we got a couple people joining us here real quick. We got Molly Zombie, who's a regular here on the show. You'll see him at the Film Fest as well. Hello, Molly. Thank you for joining us. And we also have Dawn Daly.
Hi, Donnie.
Here we go. So we got people watching, and feel free to chime in and let us know you're there. If you have any questions, feel free to bring it across as well. Mike? All right, let's get into it. All right, JoJo, once again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I got to meet JoJo for the first time in the flesh, and I'm going to tell him. We were at Hogan's, okay, in Clearwater, there as guests of our friend Zach, who was in one or a couple of the films that you're involved in. And Zach basically runs the karaoke night there at Hogan's. And I got to meet JoJo there and do many, many shots, which I needed, of course, because she made me sing, which I did. I'm not proud of it, okay? Obviously, I didn't do very well, but JoJo won the belt. You should have sent me a picture. Oh, you got it? Here we go. Got to say, I was going to say you should have sent me a picture, but look at this. The best karaoke singer wins this. But how cool is that? Holy smokes. I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, it's huge.
Wow. That is awesome. So she won the belt for best karaoke that night. Real proud of her. I hope some of my shots helped, get her in the mood. Good deal. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Uh-oh. Got a couple more people chiming in here for you. Dawn, of course. Hey, sis.
Yes.
Steve Gray.
Steve is one of the writers for Oink the Dark Pig.
Oh, okay. And Jonathan, the actor.
I love Jonathan.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, you guys have any questions or anything like that, this is an interactive show. Drop them in there. As soon as I see them come across, I'll bring them on. We'll answer and respond to them right then and there. But this show, like I was telling JoJo off the air before, this is all about her. So we're here to learn all about what she's got going on, what she's doing, what she's done, what she's got coming up. So let's dig right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the horror business to begin with.
The horror business came as a result of one of my
director friends, Dominic Giannetti, who is one of the producers of On a Hard Place. And he introduced me to the director, Jay Horton, of A Hard Place. And I was given the opportunity to be a part of the film and be in the film because I always wanted to be in a horror movie.
Oh.
So I got my dream. A Hard Place is the first horror film that I've gotten to do. I mean, I've done a couple, since that aren't out, obviously, but this is my first one. It's the first one that's going to come out and be available, for streaming and everything.
Oh, so it's not out just yet?
No, we just had our red carpet premiere this past Friday in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And should be, from what I understand, available for streaming and everything we're hoping February, I believe.
Okay. Any recognizable names that I might know from that film?
Well, Felissa Rose is in that film with us. Lynn Lowry, not sure if a lot of people know who she is. Yeah.
The Crazies?
And some local indies I saw in your photos in the introduction, like John Potash, who I just adore. Zach is not part of this one. He is part of Skate to Hell, which is another one that I'll talk about. But A Hard Place is the first one that's coming out. It's the first horror film that I've gotten to do. And it was freezing cold when we filmed it, by the way. It was in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, Dayton, Ohio. Oh, okay.
It was in winter. It had snowed. And the whole cast and crew were freezing their butts off. I was going to say something else, but they were freezing their butts off. And nobody complained. It, honest to God, is the best movie set that I worked on. And the coldest, too. But I would work with those people again, the whole crew and cast in a heartbeat. It was amazing.
And Mike says you looked absolutely beautiful, truly show-stopping.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, I've never been to Ohio, but I've heard plenty of stories about how cold it can get there.
Well, I missed the coldest day because that wasn't a day that I was filming. It was literally, I think it was like 9 or 10 degrees. They had a lot of outside stuff. And, the special effects in the blood, it was like freezing to the actors and, making you even more cold than you were. And that was, from what I understand, that was the worst filming day. And I missed that day. A little thankful for that. But there were still some cold days that went on after that as well. And snow was on the ground. Okay.
Have you always been a fan of horror, or is this something that just kind of came in, you got a hold of it?
I like horror. I've always liked horror. Late 70s, early 80s, slasher flicks. I've always been a fan of. I'm the only one in my family, we don't know how this happened, that's a fan of horror. I don't know how it happened. There was a time where I would watch films and I'd go, gross, bloody. How did they do that? Mm-hmm. That's what I would think instead of, ew.
Yeah,
now I got to learn how they do that.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. I mean, indie horror, that's what's so nice, is because usually everybody treats it like a big family on set, and you get a chance to sit and watch everything and learn so many different aspects, as opposed to like a studio film where you're in your trailer until it's the time for you to get in front of the camera, and that's it. So
I simply love the set. I walked on the set not knowing a soul. I didn't know one person when I got there. By the end of the first day, I had felt like I was part of the family. I was very welcomed, and it was just, Jay Horton is an amazing director. He knows what he wants. He's calm. He's patient. Mm-hmm. Never raises his voice. He's a true gentleman, and somebody that I would love to work with again in the future.
Awesome. All right. Well, you sent me a couple of pictures here. So what I want to do is bring these pictures up and have you talk about exactly what this is. Tell the people where they can see this stuff,
okay,
whether it's upcoming or something. So we'll start out here with what we were just talking about off screen.
Okay. So Like the Dark Pig is it's the slasher/thriller horror that we started to film. It takes some money, so we still need some more funds to finish the film. We do have. It's an audio story, an audio drama, if you want to call it. It's written by Steve Gray and edited by him as well. It's voiced by several different actors, including myself. You could find it on iHeartRadio platform. You could find it on Spotify. You could find it on YouTube. You could pretty much find it on any streaming platform where you can listen to something. It's in 2 chapters, and it's about 45 minutes long. So that's a shorter version, and then we hope to finish making the feature next year. But I'm very proud of this audiobook.
Very cool.
And Steve is he's writing something else that I'm also going to get to be part of in the near future called, oh my God, The Crimson Reaper, I think. Please, Steve, if you're there, correct me. I might be losing my mind.
Okay, you'll also see that we have links across the bottom here that'll be rolling the entire time. These are some of the links to some of the YouTube channels and stuff that she's got for you to see some trailers. And also, I believe we have the link down there also for the pig, the one that you,
Very good, very good. And I just remembered it's The Crimson Reaper of Whitechapel, I believe. Thank you, Steve.
That was from the one you were just talking about, right?
Yeah, Oink the Dark Pig, the Brittany character, is my voice.
Gotcha. Oh, and then he also mentions here the Crimson Reaper of Whitechapel.
Whitechapel, yes, that's the next project that we're going to do together. That's also going to be an audio.
Okay, so now obviously I'm going to have to mention this here, talk about this here, because Whitechapel. So is this in any reference to Jack the Ripper?
A little bit.
Okay, I was going to say because I am a huge fan. I don't want to say fan, but I'm really interested in that whole aspect. I'm actually doing an audio drama on Jack the Ripper that has kind of a different twist to it. So, and I know there was a movie that was going to be made. Oh, you blacked out on me there, JoJo. I don't know what happened to you there. I don't know if you can hear me, but you cut out on me there. But we will go ahead and give her a moment, see if maybe we lost power or something. Looks like she dropped out. So I will go ahead and wait and give her a chance to join us back again. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for her, this will give me an opportunity to show you another. All right, we'll take her off the screen for right now until she gets that situated. But while we're waiting, she did send me at the last moment here another trailer for another movie that she's involved in. So let me go ahead and show you the trailer. It's called Clown Motel 3, and it also features another friend of ours, Nicole Butler Vegas. So let's take a look at that trailer here, give her a chance, hopefully join us again, and then she'll tell us all about this film as well. So here you go, Clown Motel 3.
To fulfill your ancestors' separation of the human world and the clown world. First,
you came to steal our gold, so I'm going to steal your soul.
What's the verdict?
We have 12 missing military members.
Rivers, you can do it.
General, are you saying one last rescue mission?
We have one shot at this. Let's make it count.
We go from Silent Hill to killer clowns from outer space.
welcome to the Clown Motel.
Ever hear of the blood moon ritual? The transformation was a success.
Now go get me those sacrifices.
I love you.
See, the queen is chosen blue.
Welcome to the Clown Motel.
Acid?
Wow. Very. Have you? Well, obviously, you were involved in that movie, correct?
I was. Yeah.
So that was filmed at the actual Clown Motel.
That was filmed at the Clown Motel in Tonopah, Nevada.
How creepy is that place in real life?
I will tell you, I missed out on the filming in that part because it was also filmed at Nelson's Ghost Town right outside of Las Vegas, and that's where I filmed.
Yeah, it just seems so weird because I remember reading about that place, and it's actually like a clown motel, and they've got like a cemetery in the back.
There's a cemetery right next to it, one of the oldest cemeteries, and the Clown Motel is actually on the list of like the creepiest places in America. They had been on TV shows and those ghost hunter shows and stuff like that.
Oh wow, very cool. All right, so what's the status of that one?
That's still in post-production right now.
Okay, all right, because I know that I've got
at some point next year, hopefully.
Some point next year. You think they're going to be? You think there'll be a Clown Motel 4?
I don't know. I have no idea if he's done with the Clown Motels, but Lisa Wilcox is in that.
Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah.
Yeah, Lisa. She's. I'm very blessed to be able to call her one of my closest friends. Actually, she's like my sister. She's also on. I know you haven't shown it yet, but she's also in Seance with the Queens. That's where I met her when we filmed that.
Gotcha.
And Felissa is also a part of that, as is Tuesday Night.
As of Tuesday night?
As is Tuesday Night. Tuesday Night is from Nightmare on Elm Street 4. She played Kristen.
Okay. So you're talking about this film right here?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I actually met Lisa Wilcox at Tampa Bay Screams, which was a convention a couple of years back. And she was selling these little things that I guess she handmade. They're like little nunchucks with a magnet.
Yeah, they're the nunchucks. Do you remember the nunchuck scene when she was in her bedroom? Yeah, after Rick died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bought one of them. It's hanging on my fridge.
She's supposed to be sending me one hopefully soon because I really wanted one for Christmas this year.
Yeah, I'd love to see her again and hopefully maybe even one day work with her. Who knows? That'd be great. Okay. But I saw
awesome.
Is she really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I saw in Clown Motel, you got Nicole Butler Vegas. Are you?
Yes.
Okay. And then of course our friend Zach, right?
Yes. Well, and Zach is also in Skate to of course I love Zach too. Obviously that's how I met you, through Zach. So, but Nicole is in Clown Motel. Did you see her little green hair and her white face?
Yes, I did. Yes, she puts a lot of videos and pictures on Facebook, so I feel I've already seen the movie, but I'm really excited to check it out.
And then we got Lee Waddell in it, and a few others. Oliver Robbins from Poltergeist. He played Robbie. He's a little boy, little brother, and he's also in it. There's a lot of like horror names. Ari's in it. He played the original Jason.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Wow. How was it like to work with some of those people that you remember from your horror movies of your childhood?
Let me tell you something. It is extremely, extremely strange to be standing, this close to somebody that I watched on a big screen, from when I was younger, even whether it's the 80s, 90s, or 2000s. I was a teenager or, my early 20s. And of course, the first thing I ever saw Felissa in was Sleepaway Camp. She was 13 years old, I think.
Was she really 13?
Yeah. Look what I found.
Oh, look at that. Wow. That's a collector's item.
Yeah, I texted it to her. I meant to bring it with me to California because she is also in a hard place, and I wanted her to autograph it so I could really have a collector's item.
Right.
I forgot to bring it with me, though.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like also is like I'm a collector myself. I've got like 3,000 DVDs and Blu-rays in my house. So whenever I do my film festivals or the conventions that we go to, if I get to see any of those people or have any of those people a part of it, I always try to have them sign my stuff just so I have like a little something, a little memento.
All right. I found this. I actually only found this recently in this old record store, an actual record store. with vinyl, all old. Yeah, it was. I saw this and I picked it up, and when I asked the guy how much, and he told me how much, and he played it for me in the VCR, and it still works. I was like, I'm buying that, because I said these are selling on eBay, even used and beat up, for a lot more than I paid for it.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, is that they said that once DVDs came out that VHSs were done, but they're like collector's items. It's kind of the same thing with vinyl. When CDs came out, they said vinyl's done, you're never going to hear about it. But then like just a year or two, they said vinyl actually outsold CDs. It's great.
Well, they got record players back out and stuff. I mean, that stuff we grew up on,
Absolutely, but it always scares me when I hear that stuff, because people talk about physical media now that everybody is streaming, that nobody wants to collect DVDs or Blu-rays anymore, so they're not going to be in Target. I hope that never happens, because I love physical media.
Well, it's like reading a book or reading an iPad. I want pages to turn. I mean, an audiobook is a whole nother thing, but if I'm going to read, I want a book. I want pages. I don't want, anything. Hi, Jenny.
So you are an avid book reader, huh?
I haven't read in a long time, but there was a time where I was a big avid book reader. I love reading.
This is Otis B. Dreads. He's one of the Junkies.
Hey! What's up, Otis?
Yeah, he'll be back on the show here shortly. He's a really good guy. So who's your favorite author? Do you have a particular author that you read pretty much regularly, or just pretty much whatever the subject is?
Well, before I got married, I actually had a whole collection of John Grisham books. I like the mystery murder stuff, but I like reading the mystery murder stuff, but I like watching the horror stuff.
That's interesting.
And this whole audio stuff, the audio stories that we have with Oink, and then the Crimson Reaper of Whitechapel that's going to be coming out. There's like 32 million people who listen to audiobooks. And that's a whole nother, that's another thing to tap into, because it's completely different than film.
Yeah, I was always a book reader. My father got me into that when I was young. I used to read Stephen King, Dean Koontz.
Oh yes, Dean Koontz. Oh my God. Oh, I love Dean Koontz.
That was my favorite author back in the day.
When I was a kid, I read It. I think I was 11 or 12 years old when I read the movie, and when I read the book, It. It's like 1,000 pages. What 11, 12-year-old is reading that?
Yeah, I know. I read Stephen King's The Stand. That was like 1,000 pages too. I remember that was a great book, but the first 500 pages took me like 6 months to read for some reason. But the last 500 pages I read like in 2 days.
Like, what normal kid reads those kind of books? We're not. We weren't normal. I wasn't normal.
That's true. We weren't normal, but yeah.
I'm excited to kind of step into that, and the audio for Oink and the Crimson Reaper that'll be coming up. It's not just it's not just one narrator. We're calling it an audio drama, because there's sound effects. There's walking through the leaves. You hear the door open. You hear the fights. It's like a whole. It's an audio drama. It's ultimately like when they had radio, before TV came out, and they did that on the radio. So that's what the story is. It's like, and I love it because it makes you can feel it more. And each character has their own voice. I'm Brittany. There's another actor. His name is DJ. We have 2 detectives with 2 different voices. It was really I think Steve would agree with me if he's still watching. It's a labor of love, but we're looking forward to hopefully making some money off of it as well. Yeah. We do have physical media, which hopefully I'll get a stack of it soon. We have CDs, we have stickers, we have T-shirts. So I'd be more than happy to send you a CD so you have physical media.
Absolutely, I love that stuff. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you were just mentioning that it sounds like it's a fully dramatized like radio play.
Yes.
Right? Because I used to listen to those when I was a kid, and when COVID hit and production stopped and we couldn't get on set anymore, I remember sitting here at home and not being able to do anything and just kind of going crazy. I actually created my own radio drama called No Sleep Tonight. I wrote the episodes, I played the narrator, I sent scripts out to actors and actresses all around the country. They sent me back their audio. I added my own special effects and sound effects and everything. And that was to me, that was half the fun, is figuring out how to make sound effects for all that stuff. So I got like 6 episodes up right now on the site, so I'm hoping to start that back up again.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, Steve is he's a great guy. He's so awesome to work with. He's so creative.
This guy
He's
here?
great. There he is. Yep, that's Steve. He's the writer.
Yep. Very cool. Well done, Steve. Looking forward to checking this stuff out for sure.
And I could say thank you very much for him allowing me to be a part of that. And I love the story because I also like the Oink. The story has slasher feel to it and some psychological. So it's, if you like either or, it'll probably interest you, or both.
Very cool. This is a friend of the show's right here, Jamie Hills, just popping in to say hello.
Hello,
Jamie. Jamie's helped out Indie Horror Junkie in many, many ways, and she usually pops in on the show here. She played the mother in that movie Skinamarink, if you ever saw that.
Yes.
Yep, she played the mother in that one.
I watched The Clock, by the way.
Did you now?
I did. I watched The Clock.
And anything really good that you want to just dump all this praise on me and stuff like that, I'll accept it. I'm good with it.
Well, I realized you said this was going to be all about me, but I want people to know that I watched The Clock. I saw it on Amazon. I know you said it's going to be up on Tubi soon or whatnot, and it was pretty interesting. I like the whole idea of the grandfather clock. I don't know where that idea. It's cool though.
Well, I was just about to tell you where that idea came from is from one of those radio shows that we talked about. There was an old radio show that I listened to back when I was like 13 or 14. I think it was called the CBS Radio Mystery Theater. And on one of the episodes was an episode called Hickory Dickory Doom. And that's basically the episode about them bringing home a grandfather clock and it being, dark and mysterious. I don't want to give anything away. So I decided to turn that into a feature film. Of course, we had to update it because that was back in the 60s from that show. But those radio shows have such great stories sometimes.
Yeah, they truly, they really, really do. But I want to hop over to Seance with the Queens for a minute.
Absolutely, bring it here.
There's I don't want to say there's two versions. We have a Seance with the Queens, which you're showing right now. That is a documentary. That's a documentary. It has a little bit of the TV show that's on Tubi, but it also has interviews with queens. And some are from RuPaul's Drag Race. Some are local here in West Palm Beach and Miami. And it talks about that gay climate here in Florida and how the governor tried to shut down pretty much like Hamburger Mary's and anything to do with drag and gays bad. And it needed a spotlight shined upon it. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we did. And we were blessed and lucky enough to win some awards for Best Director for different film festivals. And then we have Seance with the Queens, which is the 5-episode series that's on Tubi. And the link is shown across the bottom. And that truly is seances that are held with a psychic medium in West Palm Beach. She has a center where people can go to feel safe and comfortable, no matter who they are. And so people like to go there. And she's pretty cool. But we do have Lisa Wilcox, Pandora Box, who was one of RuPaul's girls. We love Pandora. Kamora Hall, another from RuPaul's Drag Race, Tuesday night, Felissa Rose, me, and my co-producers, Adam Varda and Greg Bailiff, and then a bunch of other local queens as well. And if you want to see a true meltdown of JoJo Payne, you will watch Seance with the Queens. I was not, and I still have a hard time wrapping my head around it. I know there are people that are believers, and my producers put me in this show because I'm a skeptic. And I'm not going to ruin anything because I really would love people to go and watch it, but pardon me.
It's okay. Take your time.
Today's the anniversary of my husband's death. And there's a big chunk of that pops up in the show. So if you really want to see something real, you'll watch it. And with the other queens too, they all have something that they experienced, but a lot of them were already believers and they felt it. I was a huge 100% skeptic. And so the fact that you're having me on today is kind of interesting.
Well, I'm happy that you're able to make it. Where can we see that? Is it out already now, you said?
Seance with the Queens is on Tubi. One of the links, the link for the TV show, the 5 episodes, that's going across the bottom there. The documentary is only on Apple TV right now, and it's still in festivals.
Okay, so the documentary is on Apple TV?
The documentary is on Apple TV, and the 5-episode series, which is, they're connected but separate, because it has the same people in it. And one is a little more serious, and one is a little more, fun and reality. Very unscripted, but reality.
Well, good. I definitely will check it out because I've never had Apple TV before, but I just recently switched over to T-Mobile for my internet, and part of my package is they gave me Apple TV for free, so I will check it out just for you.
I would love for you to do that, and I'd love for you to check out the show on Tubi too, because I watched it, and I've watched it a couple of times, and every time I watch it, I think it happens when we watch movies too. You see something different or something new that you didn't notice maybe the last time you watched it. Or like, hey, I will tell you, I watched Friday the 13th probably about 10 times before I realized Kevin Bacon was in it.
You did not know or did remember that Kevin Bacon was in Friday the 13th?
No, I didn't. I completely forgot.
Wow.
So, like, when I rewatched some of the episodes, and I'll be like, oh my God, I forgot that happened, or, how creepy and weird. And I will tell you, the Sarah Spiritual, who is the medium on the show, she had never met me. She didn't know who I was, and I didn't even know I was going to be on camera the day I showed up. I thought I was just going to be there in a producer behind the camera sort of aspect, and that's not what happened.
Gotcha. Look at that. Jeannie Girl said she loved Hickory Dickory Doom, I'm sure. Yeah, the radio show. Yeah, I love that. That's one of those things that a lot of people just, never even heard about or never knew about, so I'm so glad that people are exposed to stuff. You can hear all those episodes on YouTube.
Jenny is one of my longtime friends. I've known her since I was a teenager.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Is she big time into horror as well?
Not like me.
Oh, not like you. I got you.
Not many people are like us. We're a special group, man.
Yeah, we are very special. And I love every moment of it. I love all the people that I meet. That's the beautiful thing about those indie horror sets, like I was telling you off the air before, was that it's more like a family type environment, and you make some great friendships on those in those groups.
I've made some amazing friends. Nicole, Nicole Butler we met on Skate to Hell, the Sean C. Phillips film.
Yeah.
Back in, oh God, I don't remember what month it was earlier this year. And we were both there in a producer aspect. I was an actor as well, which she was phenomenal. I don't know if you've gotten to see that scene that she
Not yet.
Okay, yeah, wait till the movie comes out. Holy crap. Her and Zach.
I was going to say, I heard about her in the Zach scene. They told me all about it, so I'm like,
her and Zach. Zach, he's evil in the film. So.
Oh, he is.
As we know. Yeah.
Wow.
The Zach and Nicole scene. There's a Zach and me scene too, but not nearly as good. Nicole just she stepped up like I've never seen anybody step up before. I'm not going to ruin that scene though, but that woman stepped up unbelievable. And as a person working with her as a producer and behind the scenes, she and I kind of had a little, we were like a little team going on, and I'm very thankful for her. And I don't know what I would have done without her in that film. I freaking love her.
I have not met her in the flesh yet, but I've chatted with her a lot online.
Oh, you haven't gotten to hug her?
No. Not yet, but we had her on the show as well. She just seems like an absolute doll, so I'm really looking forward to meeting her.
I watched when she was on this, actually.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
cool.
did. There are a couple other people too, and you know who I have not met Sean Thompson.
Oh, you have not met Sean Thompson?
I have not met him in person.
Okay.
No, but there's people around here. They love him. They love him as an actor, and obviously Zach, who is so fun to work with.
Yeah, Zach's great. I've had Zach in several of my different films. We did a film just recently called Velocity Kings Ride or Die. He was in that, and he's been in a few of my films. I love
don't forget Velocity Kings too.
Yeah. We'll have to see about that one. So what do you have coming up now? What's next on the plate for you?
Next on the plate is hopefully, I know they're still working on getting funding. There is a short little trailer called Then Came a Rainbow. It is about evil twins.
Okay.
Who are they're adorable in real life, and I love them. But they're the story is there was struggling parents. They couldn't have children. They finally conceived they had twins. These two grew up. I do have a character in the film. I play a mother of one of the boys who goes to school with the kids, who bullies the girls, and then bad things happen.
Another horror movie, I take it.
That one is a horror, and it's not as bloody. It's more like
psychological.
Do you remember the movie? It was years ago. Macaulay Culkin was young. The Good Son.
The Good Son. Yep.
That it has a little bit of inspiration from that film in it.
Interesting.
Like creepy, creepy little kid. But there's two of them. Oh yeah, and I love these. They're sweet little actresses. I mean, I've been in a holiday film with them, and now I get to do a horror film with them.
Okay. So what all do you do? I know you produce, you act. Do any writing or anything like that?
I have not done any writing. I'd like to. I used to love to write when I was younger. Not screenplays, but I wrote stories. I wrote books. There's a few things like stories that I had published in newspapers and stuff like that. And then I don't know. Sometimes I just got away from it. But it's funny that you ask. This week I wrote in one night. I wrote a screenplay for a whole film, not a horror. And then last night I started writing another one, which is kind of like a psychological thriller more than horror.
Okay. And you plan on producing these as far as like books, or are you looking at turning them possibly?
No. I mean, these are screenplays.
Screenplays. Okay.
I did the whole screen. I did the first one in one night.
Oh, and Jeannie Girl says you sing as well. I know you won the belt in karaoke.
I did.
Is that the thing you were talking about, or do you sing like your own songs or anything like that?
No, I don't sing any of my own songs. I'm a karaoke queen.
Really? Because like I told you about that radio show that I made, I'm actually in the middle of writing an episode right now for what I want to be a horror musical that's going to be in there.
Oh, you can count me in for that. I'll do that.
You think so? It's going to be like a throwback to the old like Beach Blanket Bingo and Ed Funicello, those kind of things, but about a monster.
I would absolutely do that.
It's going to be called Beach Blanket Bloodbath. So we'll have to talk about that one. I want to try and get that.
I would love that. I can sing original songs. I just happen to always sing karaoke.
Okay. All right. So we know about the other film that you've got coming up. Do you ever do the convention circuit? Do you ever go to visit any of the
I go to the conventions. Yeah, I've been a guest. I've met two friends that are at the conventions that are tattoo artists, because they always have the tattoos going on.
Right. You always do.
So I met a couple of them, and I have a film that's still in editing. I don't know when that's going to come out, but it's not a horror. It's more of an action motocross film. I didn't even make an IMDb page about it yet, but it has been filmed already.
No, okay.
That also has Lisa Wilcox.
Oh, it does it now.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Does she live here locally, or is she?
No, Lisa lives in Las Vegas. She flew out here back in March when we were filming, and she just stayed here to do her scenes for me.
Oh, very cool. Okay. All right. Definitely have to chat about that at some point too. All right. Anything that you want to tell people as far as where they can find you? What's the best way to look you up?
Well, you could always look me up on, if you just want to see what I'm doing, on IMDb, JoJo Payne. You can, I know there's some of the links going across the bottom there, but you can listen to Oink the Dark Pig. I would love for people to listen to that and tell us what they think about it, because it will be a feature. There's no doubt that it's going to be, but sometimes it takes a little longer to do what you want and get where you want to go. So this is like a stepping stone to get there. But you can Oink the Dark Pig, written by Steve Gray, one of the characters voiced by me. You could, again, YouTube. You can get it on iHeartRadio. You get it on Spotify. Those are like 3 majors. But almost anything that you can listen to something with, you'll be able to find it. It's streaming on so many different platforms. I can't even list them. But those are like 3 of the big ones.
Okay.
And it's called Oink the Dark Pig. There's 2 parts. I would love for people to go watch, Seance with the Queens on Tubi. Especially, I'm telling you, if you want to see a huge meltdown, I'm the one to watch.
All right. All right. So you said you're, just real quick before we let you go, you said you're a skeptic, right?
Yeah, I still am. And I don't know how I could be. But my brain and people who know me know this about me, my brain is logical and scientific. And things that I can't see, but I know I experienced it because it was there. This happened. This woman went into details that nobody knew.
Yeah.
And so from like, I wish I could remember this title this guy gave me. It's like, he's like, I'm a believable skeptic or something like that, because he experienced things, but he still has a problem wrapping his head around it. And so do I. But are you a skeptic? I mean, I don't know. Some people are not.
That's the weird thing, is that I am a skeptic, because to me, I need to have, something happen or see something that really makes me know that this is absolutely true. But believe me, if anybody wants to believe in ghosts or anything like that, or the other side, it is me. Because I've always, since I was a kid, I've always wanted to see something that made me believe that there is something beyond this. You know what I'm saying? And I want to so badly, but I will tell you, and I've never said this on air before, but I had one situation, okay? I had a girlfriend many years ago, and I was trying to think of something neat to do with her one day. So I brought her to a palm reader that we found over here in Palm Harbor. She gets into stuff like that. So the lady did not know my name. They just knew her name because she, was coming to have her palm read. So we went there, sat down. The lady started reading her palm, telling her what the different lines meant in her hand and all that stuff. And then she stopped and she looked at me, and then she went back and she kept reading the palm again. So I thought, okay, no problem. And explaining what's going on. And she said a bunch of things that my girlfriend at the time said that they kind of hit pretty good. But then she asked me, she goes, I'm sorry. She said, and have you, and she said, I'm sorry, I had to pause and look at you. She said, but do you know somebody named Maria? And Maria was my aunt. And Maria had passed away like a year or two before that. And she was like my emotional connection. Whenever I had trouble at school or a girlfriend trouble or anything, I talked to her. She would listen to me. She talked to me. We were very close with that. And like I said, this woman didn't even know my name. And I know that Maria is a fairly common name, but if you didn't even know my name, just to rattle off Maria kind of blew me away. So and I said, she's my aunt, and she asked, did she pass away recently? And she had about a year or so ago. And she goes, well, I'm sorry, but her aura is all over you. And that shook me for like 2 days. I didn't know what to make of that. But that's probably the closest I've ever had to experiencing anything like that.
Even things like that are, they're creepy. That's what happened to me with this seance thing. They made me, Sarah told me, like you said, she didn't know me. She didn't know if I was married. She didn't know if I had a boyfriend. She didn't know anything. And yes, my husband had already passed by the time we started filming this.
Right.
But she said to me, you need to sit right next to me. And I said, I'm not supposed to be part of this. And she was like, no, you have to sit here. And so I sat next to her, and Adam and Greg were nearby with me, thank God. My parents were in the audience for one of the filmings, so my mother witnessed and experienced everything firsthand with me. But my mom is she's a believer in that stuff, but I'm skeptic. And what happened to me, she pinpointed dates, she pinpointed nicknames. She did it twice. There were 2 different seances. There's 5 episodes, and she did it 2 times in a row for me. And it was, I even tried to throw her off and lie to her and tell her like I just had a boyfriend and I wasn't wearing, because now I'm wearing my husband's. These are his ashes and this is his ring. Right. David is his name, but I didn't have anything on, and I did it intentionally.
Right.
So this woman Sarah is. She's also picked pick 3 and pick 4 numbers. She's out of West Palm over 500 times.
What? 500 times?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
She actually told Adam, our producer, to play a certain number, and he did not play it, and it did come out.
Oh, how could you not put $1 down? Wow.
Oh yeah, I'll never forget that. He was like, I said, did you play it? He said, no. Sarah's going to be so mad at me. But the Seance with the Queens was my first baby steps into anything film related. Adam and Greg, I knew from just they're local here with me in Port St. Lucie. They came and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. I feel very, very blessed that they're allowing me to be part of their of the entertainment company. It's called Equitra. Adam Barta, he has been on a lot of things. Listen, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Adam.
Okay.
Adam has been on, he's been on the Howard Stern show. He was, he did a song with Tan Mom. He had a top 40 song. The man he's like a reality TV type of guy. There are people who know who he is. And I feel very thankful that I get to call him my friend. He's a good guy. He's really smart and he's really funny. And I'm him and Greg Maliff. I'm thankful that they approached me and asked me to join them. So Seance with the Queens wouldn't have happened without them. And like I said, it's my first foray and jump into anything. And it scared the crap out of me when I was filming.
Yeah, well, it sounds like your situation was a lot like mine. Neither one of us were supposed to be involved in that situation, but we got pinpointed, and it sounds like it rocked both of us.
Well, I'm going to tell you one more story since we're talking about it, and it's part of the scary story stuff.
Please do.
I was visiting my stepdaughter, my late husband's daughter, when she was living in Texas. She lived in Austin, Texas. I went to a club where she worked. It was karaoke night, by the way.
Of course.
This woman, who I didn't know, I'm in Austin, Texas. She walked up to me. She grabbed my hand and she said, "I know your husband didn't pass that long ago. He is yelling at me. He is yelling at me to tell you that he loves you." And I went to my stepdaughter and I said, "Do you know that woman?" Because she worked at the club. If she was a regular, maybe she knew. And she said, "I've never seen her before in my life."
Wow.
And I looked at the woman and I remember saying to her, "I don't have any money for you. I'm not going to pay you for anything." And she said, "No, he's loud," which he was. If he wanted to be heard, he made sure he was heard. And little things like that happened now and then for me to kind of believe. It's still hard to believe.
I can't see how. It sounds like they're yelling at you, especially your husband, that you need to believe.
Let me tell you something. He was a cantankerous and stubborn man. And if he wanted to be heard, he will be. So whoever these women are, they're sensitive to his voice. It happened me walking down the street in West Palm Beach earlier this year too. This woman grabbed my arm again. And it was outside of a psychic medium sort of place. And I thought she was trying to get my business. I said to her too, "I'm not giving you any money." She said, "No, I have to do this for you." Brought me inside, sat me down, and did this whole thing with talking about my husband and my grandchild.
Wow.
It's hard to not believe, but I don't have anything to touch, and I don't know, nothing that I could see. But I guess feelings are real, and I don't know what I felt. I felt something.
Have you ever heard of a place called Casadega?
I so want to go to Casadega.
I've been there twice. And
I have not been there yet.
And I'm going back. It is the coolest little place. It's about 2 hours away from where I am. It's like a little hole in the wall. It's got like one sign on the street to tell you to get there. And they got Hotel Casadega. That's supposed to be one of the most haunted hotels. But it is the coolest little. Yes, I've stayed there twice. It's the coolest little place with a cool little restaurant, but supposedly it's not really a city. They call it an encampment. And the only people that live there, that are allowed to live there, are all psychics, because it's supposed to have the most psychic energy in the world. So that makes it the really coolest place. And in the cemetery of Casadega, they have a mourning chair that they call the Devil's Chair. There's an actual urban legend about it that I did one of my radio shows on it called the Devil's Chair. So Jeannie girl, if you're still paying attention, go check out No Sleep Tonight horrorradioshow.com and listen to the Devil's Chair. I'm going to listen to the Dark Pig. So definitely.
I would love for you to listen to that, but I want to go to Casadega so bad.
There she is. Jeannie wants to go too. A field trip.
Yeah, that's my little Jenny girl.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is the coolest little place, and they've got this restaurant there called Sinatra's that's in the lobby, and they make a hamburger. It's hard to describe to you because I thought it sounded gross. It's got bananas, it's got mayonnaise, it's got I forget what all the kind of stuff it's got. It's got the weirdest stuff, and when you first hear it, it's like, really? But the waiter told me you have to try it. So I figured once in Rome, you know what I'm saying? So I tried it. It was amazing. So just letting you know.
I know, Mike. I saw that message up there. I miss him too.
Yep, there you go. Jeannie is going, so
I love my little girl.
girls' night. There you go.
Well, bring your butt down to Florida. Jenny lives up in Connecticut. That's where I grew up.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I was born in New York, so I've got a lot of family and stuff up there as well. So, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and get ready to let you go here. But once again, is there anything, last message or anything you want to say to anybody?
No, I just want to say to you, thank you for allowing me to, showcase some of the stuff on here and talk about, well, everything that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Don't knock it, Gina, until you try it.
That is my sister.
Oh, is it really?
Gina is my sister, yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, I thought it sounded nasty, but the guy said you got to try it. Once I took a bite, it was amazing.
It's much like a peanut butter burger. I've heard of.
It's got peanut butter in it. Yeah, it's got peanut butter, bananas. It's crazy, but I swear, if you take a bite, it's unbelievable. So.
All right, so I'm gonna go real quick. So go to Tubi, you guys. Look up Seance with the Queens. Watch the 5 episodes. You want to see reality and JoJo have a meltdown? That's a fun thing to watch. That's okay, sissy. I love you. You could listen to Oink the Dark Pig, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube. Go find it. Listen to it. Steve Gray, he wrote it, and I just love the story, and I'm so happy to have been a part of it. The trailer for A Hard Place, I think, is showing down here, and Clown Motel 3. Yeah, there is a 1 and a 2 that I'm not involved in, but you might want to watch those too. And yeah, they were filmed at the Clown Motel. And by the way, I'm deathly afraid of clowns.
Oh, really? I was going to ask you, because so many people have that phobia, and I can't understand it. They're clowns.
I am deathly afraid of clowns, and there was a specific clown in the film who, came at me, played by Lee Waddell, of Scream, the original Ghostface, if you will. He scared the crap out of me. He didn't come out in makeup until we were filming our scenes, so he could scare the crap out of me. Oh, hush.
Wow.
Yeah, he did. He said, and he was like, I'm going to stay away until the scenes come. And that's exactly what he did. And it really freaked me out. He did a good job.
No, wow. Okay, all right. Well, but just in closing here, to let everybody know, in case you did just tune in the last couple of minutes, this show is actually going to be archived on our Indie Horror Junkie YouTube channel. I'm going to be sending the link over to JoJo so she can go ahead and post it so you guys can chime in and listen to all the great stories. JoJo, thank you so much for taking time out for us today. The time just flew by. I can't believe it. So
It did. But I know we're going to go, but I did mention Skate to Hell, and that's a Sean C. Phillips film. That'll be coming out soon. And Joe Kelly is the director for Clown Motel 3 at 1 and 2 as well.
Very
cool.
cool.
You see my sister? It's her first podcast you ever watched.
Thank you, Gina. It was my pleasure busting your cherry here. So thank you so much for joining us, and definitely tune in for the rest of it. We had a blast with JoJo here. She was amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for watching too. I love you all.
All right, I'm going to take you off the stage here real quick, like I said, just to say goodbye to everybody, and then I'll come back and we'll chat for a few minutes, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, thank you again.
Bye.
All right, everybody, we're getting ready to close out here real quick, but I did want to mention one more thing here to you real quick that I didn't get to mention at the beginning. We have the Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest that's coming up again in February. Now, this film fest is held at MegaCon Orlando, and it's going to be, all the junkies are going to be there, including 250,000 of our closest friends. It is an amazing event. MegaCon is. They're going to have our film festival there. That's a picture of the trophy that we give away to the Best of the Fest feature and the Best of the Fest short film. So we've got a great lineup of films that are going to be there. We're going to have panels, horror trivia, and we're even going to have on hand for the first time ever the Indie Horror Junkie Wheel of Death and prizes. So you'll be able to spin the wheel and hopefully win some nice prizes. We're going to have t-shirts, magazines, all kinds of good stuff. The submission process, if you have a short or a feature film, is still open for like 10 more days. It closes at the end of this month. So if you have a film, submit it to us. We'll make the announcements in early December. And then in February, come on down to Orlando and join us. It is an absolute blast. Once again, thank you to JoJo Payne for joining us. And all I can say here is we will see you next Wednesday.